So I've been at work for the last 6 days and the weather's not been too bad. Today I have a bit of time to go out and shoot, and it's now grey and overcast and raining since I woke up, and the forecast for the next 10 days isn't much better. But I thought I'd go out anyway, but I don't know where I'm going to go. So this could be an interesting one. I have an idea, but I don't know if it's going to work. So let's go get in the car. I've packed my camera bag. We'll get in the car. Let's go drive to my location. Alright, so just on the drive up now, I'm noticing out my windscreen that the cloud base isn't just a blanket of low cloud, which is what I was worried about. There is actually some texture and definition in the cloud, as well as some small cloud breaks of blue sky, which is going to be great for what I'm hoping to do when I get to where I'm going. I was a little bit worried that it was just going to be low cloud and that would probably just ruin the shots somewhat. I'm not opposed to shooting landscapes on grey days, but if you just get that flat, boring sky, it just ruins the shot, and hopefully the weather's not actually going to improve and the clouds are going to stay as they are right now. So yeah, I'm maybe about halfway there now, so I'm going to settle in for the drive for probably the next half an hour, and I will catch you guys when I get there. So, oh yeah, I'm not wearing a hat. Look, this is the first time in probably about a year that I've not been on YouTube, You know what I mean? I've been on YouTube a while now, but this is the first time I've been on YouTube without a hat. I'm growing my hair out, and it's kind of at that awkward stage where you can't really do anything with it other than put a hat on it. So yeah, so ignore the barnet. Yeah, so I'm gonna settle in for the drive, so I'll pick this up when I get to where I'm going. So ciao for now. So I've made it to my location, which is Thornwick Bay near Flamborough. It started to rain on the drive up, and that's annoyed me a little bit because I was kind of hoping for no rain, but it seems like it's only light drizzle anyway, so I may be able to get away with that. So the broken cloud also continued as well, so I'm quite happy about that, because at one point it did kind of cloud over a little bit. So it's looking like we may be on for this one. So let's get down to the beach, and hopefully the tide's gone out far enough now, because high tide was 2 hours ago, so hopefully the tide's gone out far enough to allow us to get onto some of the rocks down there. So let's get down there, eh? Right, here we are. Tide's gone out a little bit. I was hoping it would be a little bit windier and chopping a little bit more of the sea than it is doing, but well, you can't really control these things, can you? So the plan is probably going to be black and white photography today, because, well, there's no light. There is a little bit of blue sky visible, but it's mostly just flat and a little bit dull. So I thought, stuff it, we've got black and white. This beach is a little bit of a scramble. There's a lot of big stones on it. So basically my plan is just to look for things that contrast against one another. So with black and white in mind, it's going to be black things on white things, or dark things on light things. Something of that nature anyway. So I'm gonna have a little bit of a look around here and see if anything jumps out at me. It's been a while since I've been down here, so yeah, let's just see if there's anything that jumps out and hopefully get the camera out soon. I have a feeling this video is going to be shot on this GoPro because the weather looks a little bit unpredictable, and I don't really fancy getting my wheeler camera out and ruining that with water. So yeah, it's going to be a GoPro one, which I haven't done a GoPro one in quite some months. So yeah, I'm gonna get myself on this beach somewhere and just see what we can do. got my first one shot. I've put a polarizer on, it's got ND filter. As you can see, some of the waves are still crashing over here, so I'm around 1.3 seconds, f11, ISO 200, and I've just got to wait for a wave to come up and just create some white water on these rocks in front of me, almost like that one did then. Problem I've got is the tide is going out, so I'm just gonna have to hope and pray that something comes in that's gonna create this effect for me. But I like the texture in these rocks down here. I've kind of got them leading up. There's a bit of a sea arch over in the distance. I quite like the texture with these rocks, so I'm using them as a foreground interest, as well as kind of half a leading line leading up to the sea stack. But these waves are really not playing ball anymore, so I'm thinking I may have to readjust this composition and get slightly closer to the water, but that's not what I wanted to do. Other than that, sharpness looks fine, the focus looks fine. It's just a case of hoping the waves play ball, but like I say, I may have to move a couple of feet that way, a little bit closer to the water, so I'll give it a few more minutes and just see what. That one? No. Bollocks. Yeah, a little bit more time maybe, and just see what happens. Alright, so for this next one, I've basically turned around 180 degrees and flipped the camera 90 degrees. So I'm doing this one vertical. Again, we're using the same sort of principle as last time. We're using this old rock as a bit of a foreground sort of leading line interest, textures, all leading up to the cliff in the distance. I'll put the exposure down to about 3 seconds on this one. Yeah, 3.2 seconds on this one. I've dropped the ISO to 100 just to give me a little bit more shutter speed. And again, I'm using the same sort of technique. I'm waiting for the waves to crash over the rocks, get a little bit of white water, just a little bit of contrast again, because obviously these rocks again, with all this seaweed type stuff and all the rocks, they're going to be quite dark in the black and white images. So I just want some white water coming over, like I was saying before, just to add some contrast to the images. So again, this is just going to be a case of waiting and riding the shutter for the right wave to arrive, and hopefully this one works out quite well as well. So this one looks like it might be a big one. There we go, that's what we want. See all the white water. I know you can't see that, but I can. Anyway, here it is, and we're going to move off and hopefully find something else through the corner, around where the sea arch is. So for this next one, I've kind of moved into a little bit of a cave. There's a bit of a rainstorm that came by, so I just wanted to get myself out of the rain because not all of my gear's weather sealed. So I've just been sat in this little cave for a few minutes. I took a time lapse that you just saw, and it kind of gave me an idea for a photograph. So the time lapse was taken on the EOS M6 with a 15 to 45mm lens at 15mm, which is roughly around the 24-25mm sort of focal length range on the APS-C body. But because I've got a full frame camera with me, I get the full 16mm field of view in the cave, and check that out, that looks absolutely awesome. So you've got all this dark cave here, and that's giving me the nice dark contrast. Hang on, the camera's gone to sleep. Yeah, so we've got the cave with all the dark contrast, and you've got the light sky, and then you've just got all the different kinds of shades, so from white, the greens, the light greys, and then the sea out there. And obviously the sky is just starting to pick up a little bit of light now, so I'm thinking this one may work really quite well for a black and white photo. So we're at f11, a 30th of a second, and ISO 100. I'm overexposing it by around 2/3 of the stop, so using a 2-second timer. There we go. So I'll put this on the screen for you to see, and I'm going to go find something else because I'm having quite a lot of fun today. It's been a while since I've been out, and I've kind of needed this for myself. It's my self-worth and self-being. I've needed to get out and do something that's not driving. So good times. Here's the image. Let's go find the next one. I've already set the camera up, I've put a polarizer on, and I've also put the filter holder on. And I'm now going to put my filter, well, I'll put the filter holding ring on. Here is the filter holder. I didn't want to do that by the edge of the cliff because death and destruction tends to happen at the edge of the cliff, so I just thought I'd be sensible and do it now. I can get the filter in my pocket and I can twist the polarizer around while I'm setting the shot up. So let's get the shot set up and hopefully it's going to turn out quite nice. Alright, so I've got my final shot set up from today's video. I quite like this one. I hope it's going to work really, really well. So like I said earlier on, I've stuck a polarizer on the front. I've also put a 6-stop ND filter on just to give it that long exposure look, because I quite like that for seascapes. We're at 6 seconds, f11, and ISO 100. Now let me talk to you about this scene a little bit first. So we've got all the texture and everything in these rocks. I quite like these because it kind of leads around in an arc, leading up to the point of that headland there. And then just on the other side of the frame here, we've just got this other little bit of rock that's sticking out of the water at the minute, just adding a bit of balance to the image on that side of it. So let's go ahead, we'll take the shot. So 2-second timer, 6 seconds, f11, ISO 100. So while that shot takes, I'm going to say peace and goodbye, and I will leave you with this image. Thanks for watching.